Hello everyone, welcome back to the Soaring Tales. If you are a student, PhD scholar, or an aspiring academic, you have probably heard this advice. Publish in high impact journals and you will be successful. I believe that too. For years, researchers, including me, were taught that journal rankings and impact factors were the ultimate measure of research quality. But then I discovered something that completely changed how I think about academic success. DORA, the San Francisco Declaration on Research Assessment. DORA asks a simple but powerful question. Should a piece of research be judged by the journal it appears in or by the actual contribution it makes? And that question stopped me in my tracks. Because if we are honest, journal impact factors tell us something about the journals. They don't necessarily tell us about the research or the individual papers only. Think about it. What if communities are helped by your research to make better decisions? What if your research influences policy? What if it creates an important data set, a software tool, or an educational resource? What if it advances indigenous knowledge and biodiversity conservation? Shouldn't those contributions matter too? Today, universities and funding agencies around the world are increasingly recognizing that research impact is much broader than publication metrics. I think this message is especially important for students and early career researchers because academia can sometimes make you feel that your value depends entirely on publications and metrics. I have seen brilliant students became discouraged because they don't have enough papers. I have seen them questioning their abilities because a manuscript was rejected. I have seen them comparing themselves and assuming that they're falling behind. But rejection doesn't mean that your research lacks value. A lower impact journal doesn't automatically mean lower quality science, and metrics alone cannot capture curiosity, mentorship, and community engagement, open science practices, or real-world influences. DORA reminds us that research assessment should be more holistic. As a researcher, we are not only the producers of papers, but we are educators. We are collaborators, mentors, knowledge creators, problem solvers, and sometimes bridges between science and society. Now, let me be clear. This doesn't mean that publications are unimportant. Publications remain a critical way of sharing knowledge and advancing science. Publishing rigorous work absolutely matters. But journal prestige should not become the sole definition of success. The impact factor belongs to the journal. The impact belongs to your work. And those are not the same thing. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, as a researcher, I would say this. Focus on asking meaningful questions. Focus on doing rigorous and ethical science. Be kind, collaborate generously, and remember that creating knowledge is useful. Sharing your work openly whenever possible is important, because at the end of the day, academia should not be simply about publishing papers. And remember that some of the most important contributions you will make may never fit entirely into a citation matrix. If you are an early career researcher stressing over impact factors, here is something I wish I had known earlier. If this video gave you that different perspective on what success in academia can look like, if it was helpful, please subscribe and share with your friends, colleagues, or fellow researchers. Your support really encourages me to create more evidence-based practical content on academia and research. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep soaring, be kind. Bye.